Good afternoon po. Jines Kapanti from Manila Times. I would just like to ask what are the specific charges that you intend to file against the Coronas, if there are any?
We are still discussing that with our attorneys, so I can't comment on that one. Thank you. No questions.
Good afternoon, Henry Omagadia, CBS-CBN. You mentioned earlier that you continue to pray for the Chief Justice and Mrs. Corona, but in the first place, do you believe that he is indeed sick, very sick, and in critical condition in the hospital? Do you believe that he is really sick and in critical condition?
You know what? That's up to the doctors. I'm not a doctor, so I think that's up to the doctors to determine that.
He also mentioned yesterday that he has been used to a simple life. Tapos nagtipid daw, kaya nakaipon. And then, you know the family. I mean, you have been part of the family. Naniniwala po ba kayo rito? Na talagang nagtipid sila at nakaipon, that's why they have these dollar accounts?
I don't know if they say so. We never lived with them. All I know, yung lumalaki sila, our family, when we were, mga bata pa kami, we used to go to our Lola Charing's house, which is where the Roccos lived, sila Tina, Christina, and the rest of the children. We were just happy kids, Magpipinsan kasi kaming lahat eh. So, yung dun sa Lipanto, yung bahay na yon. So, nung time na yon, the house is my Lola's house, but that's where they lived. And it was a big house. They had maids and drivers. And sa totoo lang, kami sa Libis, nung time na yon, it was a farm. May mga baboy kami, we grew up in a farm. May mga manok. My dad was planting vegetables. So, sanay kami sa buhay na gano'n. Kasi nga, it's a farm. We fed the pigs. We fed the chickens. And we used to collect eggs from the, So, sa amin, yun ang simple life. Kaya nakakapaganta ka nga, pag sinasabi niyang walang trabaho ang tatay ko, he's a farmer. Doesn't mean that's a job. Yung mga magsasaka, not working hard, it's a job to provide for their family. And that's a job. So, and he provided very well for us. He disciplined us to become good, not hateful people. We're not hateful people. We don't know how to be hateful. We don't know how to... Kaya mahirap sa amin ang hirap sa amin to respond to all this kasi hindi kami sanay sa ganito. We were not... Kami ang lived simple life. Kami ang, living in a farm. People must know that it's not... Hindi yun yung mansion. Silang nakatira sa growing up. But as far as yung si Chief Justice and si Renato, I don't know. I never saw their house. I never know how they live. So I can't say for sure if that's really how they lived. So I'm just saying that we are the ones who live simple. If you ever lived in a farm, we had a great life. There's nothing wrong with living in a farm. You don't have to live in a mansion to be happy. You don't have to have all of this material stuff to be happy. We were a happy family. My dad raised us and my mom. 9 children. To be simple, caring, giving, loving, respectful people. So we don't know how to take all of this that we're being lodged against my dad. It's so... kung sino naman tao na... Sorry. I'm trying to... Masakit kasi yung mga nasabi. Kasi Sa totoo lang, kung sino man dyan may tatay na mahal nyo, you would never want those things said about your dad or your parents or people you love. You know, why can't we just love one another? Why do people have to be so hateful and so disrespectful? You know, my dad couldn't even be here to defend himself. I think it's so unfair and foul, really, what he did to slander the good name of my father, who's got a great history of Jose Maria Basa. If people are not aware of his history, you can look at the history books of who Jose Maria Basa is. And my father wanted to carry that name and the legacy, and to smear that name is really hard to take. So, be that as it may, he said what he said yesterday, and I just want people to know that if they knew my dad, they would see there are many people who knew my dad from before. My dad always gave them lechon, chicken, you know, things like that, you know, because we were very giving people. So, anyway, I'm sorry. I just wanted to let you know that as far as a simple life, living in a farm is a simple life, and you can be happy like that.
I just wanted to add that I remember my dad always telling us growing up that whatever you do not do anything to smear your name, because in the end, that's the only thing you have. So to hear Chief Justice do that was so hurtful. And so, yeah, I don't even know the word to say to describe what he did.
How's your mom? Was she able to listen to the testimony or to watch the testimony of Chief Justice Corona?
Henry, my mom is in the States. She
Yes,
can't
yes.
travel. My mom is 83 years old.
Oh.
We almost,
Pero nabalitaan po niya yung
you know,
sinabi
how do
siya.
you tell your mom? This is what's being said about her husband. So, we told her, and of course, being 83, you know, we wanted to make sure that my mom will be okay, to be able to take this insults, but she's okay. She's okay.
I just want to add to my sister's comment. Our parents protect us as we grow up, and this time we need to protect our parents not to endure any more pain. And I apologize to the farmers. First of all, what the Chief Justice mentioned about farmers, and it's not a job. That's what feeds the whole country, I believe, and that's what keeps everybody fed. And it's just, I guess it's an opinion, but I just want to apologize to the farmers for the CJ on that part. But as far as our parents, you know, my mom probably got a little bit of words from my other sisters that are in the States about this information, but we told her this morning everything's going well. We just keep praying that the truth will come out. And all I could say is, wow, I wish we could settle this and get it over with. I'm sure everybody would like to see some closure and understanding, but we are so excited. I know I am especially excited to see and hope that this will change how the court system is going to perform in the future, because we really didn't have a chance when we had all those cases that was put against us and other families in this nation. So I just want to wish the country the best also.
Cara David from Channel 7, GMA 7. Sabi niyo kanina you wanna move on from this issue and sana magka-find ng peace ang mag-asawang Corona. Ano ang dapat gawin ng mag-asawa na Corona para masettle na to at magkaroon na nga talaga kayo ng peace at maka-move on na kayo? What would they have to do?
Actually, sa totoo lang, yung sinabi ni CJ Corona about this family feud, he was right as far as matagal na itong nangyari. This was really between, actually, Christina Corona's mother and my father. So, I think they're both gone already. It's time to let go. It's time to let go of, because they're gone. And we don't need to pass all the anger and the bitterness and the jealousies or whatever it was that Christina's mother, Asuncion, and my dad, whatever it is that they had between them. It's time to let go. That's the only way you can move on and have peace in your life. Life is so short. So short. We don't want to live the rest of our lives like this. That's why we want to we're not going to pass this on to the next generation.
Also, yesterday, the Chief Justice mentioned that he never said that he never used his influence in the BGI case. That's why hanggang ngayon nakabitin pa rin yung ongoing pa rin yung kaso. I mean, how do you react to this?
See, that's a hard one because it's implied when you see at a courthouse when Christina's testifying and I'm looking at the judge and he keeps looking at Christina and looking behind me and I'm like, who is he looking at? And lo and behold, I turn around and there's Chief Justice with two other guys beside him like this. And the judge keeps looking at him, looking at Christina. I'm like, and at that time, I didn't know who he was. Because when we left, I was still very young. So I didn't recognize him. And so I asked my mom, I said, who's that guy that the judge keeps looking at? And that's when my mom told me, that's Rene Corona. So there's a lot of things like that to me, it's just implied. A fax coming from the Malacanang office to our attorney, that our attorney actually asked, sino bang kalaban namin? So what are our chances with all of the cases that are pending when this is all implied? I mean, why would it come from Malacanang? You know, everywhere we go, everybody that has seen our files, our cases, and there's so many, and it's all filed by Christina Corona. Every person that we've showed, attorneys, judges, I even met with an SEC commissioner. I covered the names, and I said, can you just explain to me why we're having so much difficulty getting this figured out? He looked through it. I still had my hands on the names. Oh, you have all the merits. I know. So tell me why. He said, call the secretary, bring all the files. And then I took my hands off. Ay, kaya pala, malakas yung kalaban ninyo. And that's from an SEC commissioner. So again, what's our chances? If you have a case in court and you get that kind of a response, do you think you have a fighting chance?
Ma'am, good afternoon. Giro Sontag of DWIC. Which will satisfy your search for truth and justice? The conviction of Corona or a not guilty verdict? And can you explain your answers?
I just wanted to make sure that everybody understands that the Basa family, BGEI, not in a million years would we ever imagine that we would be part of an impeachment trial of a Chief Justice. The only reason we are here is because we were dragged into it when Chief Justice included BGEI in his Salon report.
The question is which will satisfy the Basa family, his conviction or a not guilty verdict?
Yeah. I don't know about you, how you guys feel, but for me, the verdict, whether it's he's convicted or acquitted, it's up to the Senate judges. Okay? But, we just want justice, and we want our cases to be heard based on merit and not outside influence. We just want to see results.
I think the family has already stated their answer, no? Baka enough na yun kasi for that particular question.
I could say you could probably answer that question yourselves because you know where we stand. And thank you.
Good afternoon, Stephanie Ongkiko from Solar News. I just want to ask, is the prosecution helping you with the case regarding the BGEI?
You know what? They're not. But the one thing I could tell you is they have been able to uncover more things than we ever have. For years, since 1986, I think, we have been demanding our right to look at the corporate books, accounting. And to this day, we've sent demand letters to Vicente and Asuncion Rocco when they were president and secretary of BGI, to Christina when she started claiming that she was assistant secretary. We've sent demand letters, and to this day, we have not seen any of the corporate books.
Good afternoon po. Linesca po ulit from Manila Times. Having said that, why would the Chief Justice say, malign the name of your father or your family? What do they have against you?
I could answer that. I just, you probably saw in the courtroom, we have a lot of family members. Thank you, Betsy and Flory and Tita Sally. We have a lot of support from the Basa family here. If my dad or all the accusations about our family was true, do you think we'll really get that support from our immediate family also that are here, the Basas that are in the Philippines? So I think people need to look at that part. Who had all the support in the family members? If we were that bad, I hope that they are not going to be around to support me, or us. And we just want to thank the Basa family in the Philippines for all the support and just the love that we all have.
Okay, so can we just have the last two questions, please? I think maybe there might be other people who would like to use this facility.
Again, it's one of those things that it's hard to explain. Somehow or another, the BGEI, the SEC cases are pending. It was shelved.
Henry? The results? No, no, no. Henry, you know, my father always said, because you asked that question kanina, bakit hanggang ngayon, nandiyan pa yung kaso? Justice delayed is justice denied. I think a lot of the cases now, kaya it was a delay tactic nila, so that these cases will just keep going on and going on, probably to make our lives miserable. So I think that we're not the litigious. These are cases filed against our family. We're just defending ourselves. But anybody who may have experienced that abuse of power with their cases will probably understand what we're going through. Hindi lang naman siguro kami. Siguro marami din tao dyan dito na maybe have experienced this kind of injustice. Kaya nga, maybe this whole experience with the impeachment trial will maybe it's not just about us. Really, it's about the Filipino people. This is not about us. What we're looking for is what is the good of the country, for the people, and for the justice system to be looked at and see. And people who have cases, there's thousands and thousands and thousands of cases out there that are not being heard, that are not being tried maybe in a way where it needed to be. All I know is if our cases were based on merits, siguro tapos na to, matagal na. But sana, ang ano lang namin sana ngayon is matapos na lahat to, we're just looking for a final resolution. You know, whether, I don't know if this is going to, it's, either way, it's not a victory for anybody, the Coronas or us, because so much pain and suffering has already happened. You cannot bring that back. So I think it's just, like she asked earlier, I think it's time to move on. Let's just live in peace and harmony, and not just our family, the Filipino people. Let's all just be united, love one another. We're not hateful people. Let's just be okay with one another. And so, for the Filipino people, I hope that whatever the outcome is, I hope it will help make this a better country. It's just all for the good of the people. It's not just for us. The impeachment case is not just about the Basa-Guidote.
I just want to add, we just also want to thank our Tita Flory, Sister Flor. We said such a wonderful prayer that she said, it's in God's hands. And I just want to thank her for the wisdom that she's teaching us. And again, as far as support, everybody could look at this one, and Sister Flor would probably clarify a lot of things through prayers, and she's always supported and say, I could probably go to that case, but I don't want to take the glory from God. And she said in her exact words, it's in God's hands, and let the truth be heard. And that's what we're praying for. She wants to see justice before she goes, as well as the rest of the Basa family. And I just want to share that one with everyone.
I think that was the last. Salamat po. Apo. Based on the hearing today, I think the verdict, I don't know when it's going to be, but I don't know if we'll be here for that. We don't know yet for sure. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you very much.
Salamat po na binigyan niyo kami ng opportunity to say our side of the story. Salamat po.